Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan Hernandez. I'm an actor, playwright, and I'm the featured artist for the Spotlight of the Week with Milagro. I understand that given the current situations of the world, there's a lot of feelings of uncertainty, maybe overwhelm, anxiety, fear in general. And I just want to say that, please make sure to take care of yourself out there. Take the time to devote some extra self-soothing, self-care. Reach out to someone for support. If you ever want to just talk to someone, I think that's super beneficial, especially in a time like this. Connection is so important. I believe we're going to get through this. We're going to get past this challenge together, juntos, and we got this. So I'm excited to be with you today because, at least for a brief moment, and share with you my experiences with the Corrido de San Patricios. I loved this play. This was such a great honor for me to be a part of. I can't wait to dive in more about the story and how I just really had some major takeaways and breakthroughs while working on this. I have to give a shout out and a thanks to Beto. Beto is the writer of the Corrido de San Patricios, and Kinan Valdez, who directed the play. Also, too, it's really great to be a part of Radical Evolution, the Teatro Campesino, and the Corrido Theater. It was a pleasure to be part of this project, and I had the privilege to be a part of it twice. I'll get into how I got wrapped up into it a second time, but before I get into the involvement of my involvement, I want to tell you more about the story of the Corrido de San Patricio because you guys didn't see it. So the story starts right around 1845. It's about a young Irishman migrating into the United States because of the famine and disease that's happening in Ireland. So now, while on his journey, he meets a fellow Irish soldier, and they created this brotherhood. And when they get off the boat, there's them two working together to just survive. And they are coerced into joining the U.S. Army because it's either that or starve out in the streets of New York. And they decided to join the U.S. Army. And during their boot camp trainings, they're being sent to Mexico for more land, to divine intervention. And the both of them feel really confused about this. And the characters Lochlan O'Brien and Brendan O'Connor are trying to navigate through this new transition when it comes to the U.S. Army. What are we fighting for? What are we supposed to believe in? And they make their way to this church, and in this church, they're uncovering this invitation to leave the U.S. Army and join Mexico. And during that moment, I feel there's this transition for Lochlan O'Brien to actually he hears this letter from Santa Anna that's inviting him to come to this place where he can have freedom, home, a place of mild and humane customs, which just to him it just rings like heaven. So he is driven to leave the U.S. Army, especially when he and Brendan are caught. They are ordered to burn the church down, and that's another thing that happens. And I'll get more into Lochlan's character, but this is a huge play. There's a whole bunch of things happening in it. So one, we have the story. Then we have historical context, which is awesome because it's not like just a conventional play where the audience hears the history of the play. It's not a lecture type play, and it's also not just a drama. It's like a combination of those three. And then on the cherry on top is really about putting it into a space to where the actors are also building the world as we go along. So there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of different things happening on stage. The audience is entertained throughout the whole time. It's very tight play, about 60 to 70 minutes, and you get to witness an actor transform right in front of you. It's really great. We put a lot of work into it, and it just really helped build this versatility. It's awesome because I want to talk more about the first time I actually started working on this project, which was in 2018. When I was living in New York, I was asked by a fellow colleague, director, if I wanted to be part of a production of the Corrido de San Patricios, and it was just a stage reading. But when you work with Kinan and Beto, it's never just like a sit-down stage reading. It's like, no, we're gonna put you to work. We're gonna move some things. We're gonna make it really inviting and engaging for the audience, so that they can like actually like visually see what's going on. And it was during that time in 2018 where I actually was my primary focus was to be part of the characters that would help shape the world of the play. So I played an old-timey bigot, I played Patrick, I played a sailor, and it was pretty much like the shapeshifters to help contribute to telling the main focus of the story. I had a great time doing that because it's not just and then I also had to give factual context to what's going on in the play. So it was a lot of moving pieces, moving parts to help heighten the storytelling. I really enjoyed that. This time at Milagro, I was actually invited to play Lochlan O'Brien, which is the main character. And oh man, I have to tell you, playing Lochlan O'Brien, I love that character so much. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to like let that go because I felt like I've learned so much from him and his journey. I think it's because I resonate so much with Lochlan's just character arc. You know, it's the journey of an immigrant story. It's a hero's journey. That combined with that, you get this beautiful sense of struggle, push-pull, hunger for more. And you know, the character of Lochlan O'Brien, he is leaving his home and he's heading to the U.S. He's pushed into these circumstances where his model of the world is changing. It's changed entirely, actually, because he's now being discriminated, and he's still holding on to his core beliefs. Now, before he left, he made a promise to his parents that he would never change who he is, because really that's all you got. And throughout the play, it's almost like he's tested again and again, and there's a want to find his own space, find his own place in his home, make a home for himself. And then there's also a sense of like wanting to give up, forget it. I don't even care about this place anymore. I want to leave. I want to go for something else. So there's a sense of feeling like he works hard and he's not being rewarded. He's not owed what he thought he was. So his model of the world, his life conditions are changing, and they're not aligning up with his model of the world. And that makes for great storytelling. I feel like I'm living that constantly through my life. When I was younger, I was very hungry to explore the world. I was very hungry to be an actor and wanting to do a lot of storytelling. I moved to California for a bit. It didn't work out. I felt like I just couldn't find my place. I couldn't find my home like Lochlan O'Brien until maybe moving up here. And even then I wasn't fully satisfied, and I went to New York. I've been touring all over the place. So Lochlan and I really share this affinity towards like finding a place that is home to us. And you find out through the story that it's not just about like finding a place like, oh, this is home and that's it, but it's actually stepping up and being a leader and serving your people, whoever your people is. And sometimes you might not know, but there's a moment in the play when the battalion that he's on, he's already in Mexico with Brendan, and the battalion has been changed to be named the San Patricios, which is like two of his worlds combined together. And he is the leader, the flag holder for this. So when he comes into this arena of like he's at this land, he's at this moment, and he feels like giving up, and his chief general is like, this is for, you're the leader now, like take the battalion, take the flag, and lead us to victory. And even though they lose, he dies in battle, or he dies being captured, they lose the battle, but he decided in that moment that he was going to give everything he got, no matter what the consequence, no matter what the results are, no matter what the payoff is. He was going to be a leader in that moment. And I really like that. I'm very passionate about being a leader and serving my community as best as I can. And so him and I have a huge alignment together. So I really thank him for the spirit of him letting me be a part of that moment. I was a vessel for that character, and it was just a really incredible experience. And I want to share with you something. It's a piece that all the actors actually come together and say this, and so it'll just be me speaking this, but it's at the close of the production of the play, where we're kind of disrobing our costumes and we're putting them back into this set pieces. So we've designed the set pieces into a canon, and then we've designed the set pieces into this like memorial. So we're putting all of our like costume pieces, our hats, we have these belts that we place on. It's really good. I'm making a lot of this gestures, but we turn into regular actors and we present in a way to the audience, and we say these words. September 8th, 1847, U.S. forces invade and occupy the capital of Mexico. The war is over in a matter of months, but we will go on. Mexico will lose, treaties will be signed, but we will go on. Mexico will lose all of Alta California, renamed by the conquerors California. Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada, Utah, and Wyoming. Borders will be redrawn. Borders will always be redrawn. John Riley, Santiago, Capitan Flores, John Cuttle, Yout, Brendan, Lochlan. These names fade into history, but we will remember, recordamos, what it means to stand together, juntos. Por eso, son héroes mexicanos, presente, que vivan los San Patricios. So thank you so much for being with me. I really am appreciative of your time, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.